Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's two changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out. Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes three changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in four, as Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Cruz and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League, and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's two changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out. Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes three changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in 4, as Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Cruz and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League, and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's two changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out. Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes three changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in 4, as Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Cruz and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League, and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's two changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out. Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes three changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in 4, as Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Cruz and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League, and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's two changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out. Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes three changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in 4, as Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Cruz and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League, and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's two changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out. Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes three changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in 4, as Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Kroos and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's 2 changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out, Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes 3 changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in 4. As Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Kroos and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's 2 changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out, Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes 3 changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in 4. As Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Kroos and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing result against Wolves. It's 2 changes for Madrid. Rudiger and Nacho drop out, Alaba and Rodrigo come in. As for Chelsea, Frank Lampard makes 3 changes after that defeat last time out. They've got no win in 4. As Marc Cucurella, Conor Gallagher and Kai Havertz drop out for N'Golo Conte, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. And this means that the Real Madrid team is Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal, Valverde, Kroos and Modric, then Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo. Chelsea's team is Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, James, Sterling and João Felix. Kick-off fast approaching in the Champions League encounter between Real Madrid and Chelsea. It's the Champions League and Real Madrid hoping to really put the pressure on. They're second in La Liga, only 2 defeats in 5, and they're certainly the favourites for this game as Chelsea look to try and bounce back from a disappointing. Good evening and welcome to our coverage then. It's Champions League action, quarterfinals again resuming as Real Madrid host Chelsea. This tie in yesterday would have been a mouth-watering prospect, and it still is. But what have Chelsea got to offer? That is the big question this evening under Frank Lampard. Real Madrid will look to take the sword to them and really put the pressure on. In doing that, Carlo Ancelotti has made 2 changes. Rudiger and Nacho drop out for Alaba and Rodrigo. As for Chelsea, 3 changes since their defeat to Wolves. Cucurella, Gallagher and Havertz dropping out for Conte, Silva and Chilwell. And myself, Tom Hill and Max Hunts will bring you all the action tonight of this 90-minute, we hope, blockbuster tie. Before I get Max's thoughts on what he expects tonight as Real Madrid in their home white all strip and all blue of Chelsea come forward, we'll just break off because actually Real Madrid are in a good attacking position as they go out wide, and they've picked out Rodrigo, who's running at Chilwell, tries to twist inside, Kovacic helps him out and Chilwell will clear. So Real go with Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal. It's then Modric, Kroos and Valverde, Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo complete Madrid's lineup. Chelsea go with Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva, Fofana, James, Kante, Fernandes, Kovacic, Chilwell, Sterling and João Felix will lead the line, and it's been all Real Madrid on the ball, hasn't it, Max? Are you expecting this to continue?
Yes, I am. I don't see Chelsea putting up too much of it to fight, to be honest, but last time we thought that for Chelsea, they went on and won it in 2012, didn't they? There's been sort of links with that Roberto Di Matteo season, with the league season falling apart, and João Felix has been played through.
Yeah, big chance here for João Felix to try to twist and turn. Goes to goal. Good save from Thibaut Courtois. And it is a corner to Chelsea.
Well, speaking of 2012, shadows of the Torres at the Nou Camp, and he's just not got any legs on him. Militao sprinting back. João Felix can't get away from the Real Madrid man, and he just takes it away a little bit further from goal. He's shy of confidence, isn't he, the young Portuguese? He hasn't come in and set the world alight, but you're kind of thinking, a Real Madrid player, Vinicius Junior on the ball, takes it, goes round the keeper, and Real Madrid are 1-0 up.
I think what he does, Max, is he doesn't stand still, does he? Which is what João Felix does. He runs at pace and then stops, as if that's going to confuse people. And all it does is actually help Courtois set himself and certain the defender get back. As Chilwell's corner comes in, it's over the head of everybody. Koulibaly with one of those sort of effort-like leaps to suggest he tried, but he was never going to get to it unless he'd been stood on two players' shoulders, as then Real Madrid win a goal kick. 3 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, it's kind of like when the teacher points you out, picks you out in class and say, look, I need more from you. Next question, you put your hand up. She goes, yes, what do you want? Oh, I forgot me, sorry. It was that kind of effort from Koulibaly. But Real Madrid fans, Chelsea fans, the superstitious ones will be kind of optimistic. They've only lost once in several meetings with Real Madrid. That was recently in 2012 when they lost 3-1 back at Stamford Bridge in April 2022. So Real Madrid don't have the history on Chelsea, but football's not played in the past. It's played in the present on this luscious green surface at the Bernabeu, and Chelsea picking up on the ball again. Yeah, big mistake here from Real Madrid as Conte's got away. He's running into traffic though. He's got João Felix in front, but he'll still carry it. Conte, Felix in the penalty area, goes across the goal looking for Sterling. It's hooked away by Alaba. I think all the time Raheem Sterling wanted that pass, and N'Golo Conte couldn't release it, and now Real Madrid come forward. But Chelsea already twice now have won the ball high up the pitch. They're trying to set traps and then release the two speed merchants up front, and Sterling and João Felix certainly possess plenty of that. And now Real Madrid over halfway will try and attack, and that is a attempted dive from Vinicius Junior. The referee spotted that, says play on. Fernandes into João Felix, gets it back to Kovacic, and Chelsea's zipping it around on the slick surface, all one-touch passing to try and put Real Madrid off, because they now fight fire with fire, and Valverde steps up, and Fernandes now can play away from him and out towards Reece James, who's back fit for Chelsea, which is a real boost for them. He rolls it to Fernandes to Kovacic forward to Sterling. Sterling drops short, goes to João Felix, tries to return the pass. It's sandwiched between two defenders. Camavinga, Alaba were back there. I think it was Alaba's touch that got there, but this is better, Max, from Chelsea. It's really good from Chelsea. A bit of a solid plan is Fofana brings down Vinicius Junior over there, and he's gone into the book. Our French referee, Francois Letexier, say it like that, is the man in the middle, and Fofana, the Brazilian got round him, and it was a simple decision for our referees. He looked just caught on the halfway line. He knew he wasn't going to catch him if Vinicius Junior got around. Just going back to that Kante run, he does have that in his locker. He's got a great slalom in run, has the French midfielder, but Sterling, he was crying out for a reverse pass. It was difficult. Kante was facing the other way, so he might not have seen him, but he definitely would have heard him for looking at the replay. Sterling was screaming at the top of his lungs. But opening 5 minutes, Chelsea just sitting deep in the catching Real Madrid, unawares at times. Yeah, they'll hope that they need to catch them early, because Real Madrid, if they do get into a groove, will certainly fancy themselves to get on the front foot with the ball like that from Valverde. There's every chance. He just played it inch perfect across the entire Chelsea midfield, and every time that ball spun to the right hand side, it looked like Chelsea were going to intercept. It wasn't the case, and Real Madrid can get there and get on top as Carvajal and co go back on the inside. Militao towards Alaba, who has had quite the transition to a centre-back in his career. Marauding left-back, was played as a midfielder for Bayern as well. But at the heart of Real Madrid's defence, trying to dictate players. They're walking a risky tightrope, trying to play it out to the left. Nearly just knocked that ball out of play. Now Fernandes intercepts and gets to the ball. João Felix running forward. Fernandes lobs it over the top towards Sterling, who's got the pace to get to it. Now, hopefully, he
stayed on side. Sterling has done just that. It's back up the line to Conte. Conte's going to run into an attacking position. Waits for Sterling to get forward. A good first touch. Camavinga gets to the ball. Does he? No, he does not. And he doesn't get any touch of the ball according to the ref. And if he's carded Rafana, he has to card Camavinga. And this is, I must admit, this is I can never say a game is not going to be good in the Champions League. It's the quarterfinals. It's the best competition in European football.
Best competition in the world.
Thought we'd have a slow start. It's been the opposite.
Slow start. I think we all thought a slow start is in Real Madrid would be on the ball, Chelsea would be just packed outside deep in their own half and make it difficult. But Chelsea have come to play. Frank Lampard's told them to express themselves by the look of it, and Sterling got round the makeshift left back tonight in Camavinga. And it's a good opportunity. It was just a bit disappointing. If you look at you were looking for Sterling's options, it was Chilwell and Felix. And I'm thinking if they had a bit more of an expansive midfielder, they've gone with Kante, Fernandes, and Kovacic. Maybe just a late run in there, arriving in the box late for Sterling to pull back for that player to shoot for the goal. But not tonight. But they've got a free kick here. Chilwell might be thinking with that left foot swinging in, he might have a go at it here.
Yeah, I thought Camavinga would have been in the wall, but he's actually one of the holding players trying to mark up. They have got Rodrigo and others in the wall trying to block, as Chilwell actually tries to loft it into the far corner and it goes over the top. And of course Thibaut Courtois, as a ex-Chelsea goalkeeper, will be well aware of the threat that Chelsea possess on the road. There was no threat though behind that set piece as it sails over the crossbar. So 8 minutes gone, still 0-0. It's also 0-0, by the way, in the other game between the Italian giants AC Milan and Napoli.
Yeah, that free kick was a bit of nothing, wasn't it? He didn't really whip it. There wasn't any didn't look like the body language of hitting the ball or trying to get it up and down. He just sort of swang through it. It's just quite a natural pendulum swing of the left boot, and the ball just kept on going.
Here was Koulibaly inside Chelsea's half. Fernandes gets to possession, rolls it with the outside of the boot to Chilwell. Chilwell tried to ping it into the middle, but he was blocked by Valverde, who's been a very busy boy leading the press for Real Madrid. Here is Chilwell. Kovacic falls over but manages to regain his balance, gets it to Fernandes, who just about gets it away from Modric, who's still a quality operator into his late 30s now, and still playing at the highest level. That isn't a high-level pass from Reece James that gives it away to Cruz, who works a couple of 1-2s with Valverde. He's now got time to spin and turn, and he uses that space to smash the ball into the feet of Rodrigo. Rodrigo tries to get past Koulibaly. This back three for Chelsea is certainly making things expansive. Chilwell now walks into traffic. Kovacic gets it away. Lampard's trying to give a few words of encouragement to his players in front as Reece James collects. Will he use his pace? He won't. He just plods forward to a Fernandes. It's very narrow in the Real Madrid half as Kovacic and Fernandes exchange passes, and it is the Croatian that comes away with the ball. He rolls it to Fernandes, and he now flicks the boot around the ball to get it out wide to James, who's hugging the touchline. James down the line to Kante. Kante's going to try and turn back on his inside. He gets it back up the line to James, who's more than happy to retrieve possession and offer a different angle. Into Kovacic, now to James. To Fernandes, floats it in. Sterling tries to head it towards goal. It nearly falls for João Felix as a push in the back of the defender Militao by Sterling. The referee spots it and gives a free kick. But now we're actually seeing Chelsea dictate possession.
It was about to say, is this the first time that Chelsea have put a passage of play together? The first opportunities where they were played through on goal, it was on the counter-attack, and Real Madrid caught high at the field, but Chelsea got it from. They went through all the thirds, very transitional play. It's just unfortunate that there was a really good ball into the box, but Giroud would have loved that. Raheem Sterling is going to struggle to get up there. We saw it in the foul game from Militao, just using his arms to bring himself up illegally. And this opening 10 minutes 40 seconds. It's not been the walk in the park or the walkover that we thought Real Madrid were going to get.
No, it might turn out to be that way by the time we get to the full-time whistle, but it isn't something that is happening just yet, as now we see the ball in possession with Camavinga. He strides over halfway, now flicks it back and gets it into a good area, works further wide out to Rodrigo. Rodrigo now has it and tries to play it forward, lays it off towards Dani Carvajal. Benzema gets a shot away, and a couple of 1-2s help Real Madrid attack this Chelsea line that's now a back five. Chilwell and Reece James have dropped in. This is the first time we've seen them have to really drop and become a solid wall of blue as Carvajal's a inside midfielder for now as he works it wide to Rodrigo, who again skips away Carvajal, and now it's picked out to Valverde. Rodrigo nearly goes behind Valverde. In fact, it does go behind him, but he's still quick enough to get past Chilwell. And now this is the sort of game that we expected. Real Madrid putting Chelsea on the back foot, and it is something Chelsea look pretty comfortable with as they head the ball away. Good header from Thiago Silva. He's had some famous battles over the years with some of the world's best. Lays it out to Benzema. Benzema's twisting, turning towards the near post. Kepa comes across, saves easily at his near post, but Real Madrid starting to purr for the first time in this game, and it's taken them 12 minutes. But that's the best move they've produced all night.
Yeah, it's the first time that Benzema's really got on the ball in the attacking third, isn't it? You mentioned that Chelsea were making it look easy, but there's the difference in class. The two world-class players on the field, Benzema and Vinicius Jr., making something from nothing really. Breadcrumbs on the edge of the box, and they managed to weave their way through and get a shot on goal. Just unfortunately for Benzema, the angle was against him. Kepa was, if that went through him, he would have been likened to a ghost, really. Bit of a hologram, but never ball. A good channel run from Kante, just can't get there first from Militao, but Real Madrid, they need to bring Benzema into the game a lot more, because Chelsea's chest will be puffing up. They're getting more and more confident. We feel a goal in the opening in the next 5-10 minutes or so for Real Madrid would really take the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, ball out wide then towards Vinicius Jr., who's going to take it in his stride, running towards the edge of the box, cuts it back, it pings off the legs of the number 33, which is Wesley Fofana, and it will be a Real Madrid corner. 13 gone, Real Madrid 0, and Chelsea knows we get a replay of that Benzema chance. We got a decent bit of power behind it, but Kepa always had the near post covered. He took a big stride to his right and then leaned into the ball and just put his body behind it.
Well, there is a bit of a gap there at the front.
Yeah.
Kepa
But was he expecting?
Yeah,
there was a potential cutback though.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
He had it covered. I know what you mean though. There was a nervous gap.
Tighter gaps, haven't you?
The ball comes in from that corner, and put it this way: if that goes in the near post, you can then be critical and say, well, that could have been better. As Carvajal swings the ball in, this time Kepa is alert as ever, and there's nothing to critique about that diving catch before he can release a Chelsea teammate, as it's Ben Chilwell, his preferred choice. Still goalless, and still goalless in Milan. As Fernandes gets the ball, flicks it over the top towards João Felix. Not a bad idea that at all. Ben Chilwell's not happy though, because he was a different option, and in fairness, Ben Chilwell was in a lot of space on the left. Didn't spot him though, and it is going to be back underway with Real Madrid in possession as Cruz goes wide. Carvajal takes over. Rodrigo told to get further down the line. He picks out Rodrigo, who's got 3 blue shirts, now 4 blue shirts in the way of his nearest teammates. And Valverde, back it goes, still going, gets it back inside towards Militao, and now it's with Modric. Beautiful ball into Benzema. He rides the challenge, gets a little lucky as Camavinga gets it. Referee's playing a bit of hopscotch in midfield, and he's dancing away as Modric goes forward. Good ball to Benzema. Benzema plods it back out towards Rodrigo. He tries to float it in, wants to 1-2. It's too close to Kepa. It's computer game-esque like football, some of this, how fast they're playing it. They just couldn't get that ball away in time.
No, they couldn't. Enzo Fernandez got a little toe in the way to stop Benzema from pulling the trigger from distance, but Real Madrid, after a bright start and then a bit of a lull, they're getting back to being the dominant side without having lots of chances on Kepa's goal. They're applying a high press, making it difficult for Chelsea to play out, and they've won the ball back.
Yeah, ball into midfield for Cruz. Cruz gets it forward to Valverde. Valverde tries to attack and goes to Benzema. Benzema tries to prod it forward for Vinicius Jr. It nearly came off. Fofana on a yellow card, panicking. He's running towards the corner flag here, and he smashes it away from Benzema, but puts his team under pressure. Here's Vinicius Jr. He goes to ground. It's not a penalty. He's won the ball there. Vinicius Jr. has done his very best to throw himself up in the air, but I thought he got enough of a touch on the ball. I can understand why Max is puffing and panting to my right-hand side, because it's a deep intake of breath, because it's panic stations.
Yeah, it's panic. It's just he was running back to his own corner flag, didn't he? Started pretty much on the edge of his own penalty area, and he went a good 10 yards to that corner flag. You're thinking, Upamecano last night had a crisis after crisis after crisis out. I was thinking, are we going to see that from Fofana? On a yellow card, running the wrong way, just hoofs the ball away, completely kicks it into Vinicius' path, and then he's in an urge to make his comeback as he just dived into the challenge. We're yet to see a replay from that.
Yeah, shot comes in from Valverde, a mistake from Chelsea. And it was a wasteful shot, nothing to get excited about, but still a shot all the same. But Enzo Fernandez not often gets his feet in a tangle, but he tried to turn it to Kovacic, gave it away. The presence of Koulibaly immediately shut down Valverde's shot, and he was never going in.
It is a big presence, that, isn't it, Koulibaly? So here we go, here's the challenge at Fofana. Yeah, Vinicius Junior has done... there was a little bit of a studs on the laces of the young Brazilian, but Fofana gets enough of the ball, totally accidental. It was a footballing incident.
I mean, that's being generous. It's a tackle, and Vinicius Junior.
Well, that's what I mean.
Vinicius Junior's trying to dive.
Yeah, when you it's like NF1 when they're saying, "Oh, such and such hit me," or "Such and such is driving me off the road deliberately." It's like, you are on a racetrack. These things are going to happen. You aren't going around the ring road at 60 where everybody's very patient and very kind.
There's going to be contact. He won the ball first, didn't he? It was just break off because Vinicius Junior is getting into the penalty area. He cuts it back. That's a good battle, that, because he's running at Fofana, knowing full well that he's on a card, and he now can't bring him to ground for the rest of this game. Fofana's just maybe trying to tell Silva that he needs to talk a little more. And whether Fofana does get the instructions across to Silva this time to just maybe back him up a little bit better for the next occasion. So he rolls it back, does Kepa. Koulibaly gets into trouble. Chilwell lets the deflection play off him and rolled out towards the far side, and he's trying to make sure that his team are just calming things down. That's really mature play from Fofana, from Chilwell, because he could have kicked that out first time. Instead he lets it roll out, he gets the throw, there's no need to panic, and in doing so he's taken 40 seconds off the clock. It is still goalless at the Bernabeu as Chilwell walks into trouble again, but it's the presence of Carvajal who's trying to G up the crowd, as is Valverde. Remember, it's certainly a bang up for this, and there is a packed crowd out there in the seats that are available tonight to watch this Champions League first leg quarter-final. Or quarter-final first leg, if we're going to say it properly, as Chilwell gets the latest throwing cleared down the line, but Real Madrid pounce immediately. Camavinga towards Cruz, and he goes back to the German and instead towards Alaba. Here's Militao. Valverde right back for the time being because Carvajal was further up the pitch, and Real Madrid have plenty of time here, Max, because it's fair to say Real Madrid's pressure when they're near halfway is non-existent. Chelsea's pressure is non-existent when they're near halfway. We'll get your thoughts in a second, because they've broken away now, Real Madrid. They've won a throw through Rodrigo, but yeah, interested to see when they set the press.
Yeah, they don't need to, do they? It's proven it's a good tactic already. They've had multiple good chances from sitting deep, and then when they feel like there's an opportunity there, they go together, and they've won the ball in good positions and launched good counter-attacks, and they don't want to be caught high up the field, and they don't want to, well, especially for Fofana, they don't want to get him exposed as Reece James is buddying up with him to mark Vinicius Junior out the game. They don't want the Brazilian or Benzema running at Fofana and getting him sent off. I imagine we will see a substitute, him maybe taken off at half-time. But Chelsea sitting deep, making it difficult, not leaving space in behind for Real Madrid to exploit, and they're more than happy to just sit there and watch them go side for side in front of them with the back five. Just going, yeah, you're happy, we're happy for you to have this, boys. There's still Stamford Bridge to come in the next few weeks.
Yeah, Chilwell's latest throw down the line to João Felix, bounced off him into Sterling. It then pings off his chest and back towards Militao and Alaba, and it is Alaba that comes away with it. We're about to hit the 21st minute mark of this encounter as Cruz looks over the top. Rodrigo had made a run. Cruz wasn't 100% comfortable playing that pass, so he delayed it. Benzema is often floating around wherever he wants, and he is now in holding midfielder positions. He goes back to his centre-back Militao. Alaba rolls it left, and Camavinga and Modric are out there. Now Benzema will just start to plod his way into the middle, down the line to Vinicius Junior. Benzema now delays his run. It's a very clever movement as Vinicius Junior walks into a traffic jam. Reece James wins a throw off him, but again, he is the danger player. He's had an absolutely incredible season, and it wasn't only a few weeks ago I watched Real Madrid, a bit of a rare occasion on a Saturday afternoon, and they were under pressure the first 5 or 6 minutes, nearly conceded, and then Benzema scored a hat-trick in 7 minutes. Vinicius Junior got a few assists, and it was like, right, back to normal, let's move on. Those two are combining again today. The ball's over the top, a chance to try and crawl it back, and there are they together. Vinicius Junior and Benzema, talk about timing, and as the halfway point of this first half, a lovely, lovely floating ball over the top, It was flicked back by Vinicius Junior, who then turned it towards Kepa. He could only palm it to Benzema, who tapped into an empty net. It's come from pretty much 5 minutes of pressure. I think Frank Lampard will look at that at Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0 as a little bit soft.
Yeah, you just say, look, Real Madrid saw like, right, we can't go through you, we can't go around you, but you know what, we can go over you. It's Carvajal with a fantastic ball. He sees Vinicius Junior making a run. He himself goes for goal, doesn't he? Well, he just sticks a leg up, hoping for something. And Kepa, for him, he makes a really good save. Sorry, it sounds a bit disrespectful, that, but he makes a great reaction save. His body weight was going one way, so he dives across. But unfortunately for him, Benzema, the striker, the number 9, he's got that smell. He knows where he needs to be before the defenders can even clock onto him. And there is for a simple tap-in. It would be one of the easier of his 90 Champions League goals. And you can see, you're right, Tom, it was coming. 5 minutes of constant pressure. Chelsea in the previous 15 minutes, they were getting themselves on the ball, just able to break it up. But it was a constant wave of Real Madrid on the ball inside the Chelsea half. They just weren't able to disrupt it, and after a while the plan came together and Real Madrid are in the lead.
Yeah, ball out wide towards Conte, then takes it in his stride. James takes up across the ball towards Sterling. Oh, what a chance and what a save. And Thibaut Courtois has just reacted as if he saved the last penalty in the Champions League final. He's jumped up, punched his chest, and Raheem Sterling's looked round to just say, well, what on earth has just happened? Near post, Real Madrid fell asleep. Sterling and Reece James pounced, and it's on a play, tap in. What a save that is.
Yeah, Sterling made a great run in between the two centre-halves at the near post. That Courtois save belong in the final, didn't he, when he pretty much won player of the match, won the title single-handedly. Corner comes in, and there's Benzema to head it away. And Chelsea, they can take heart in that. They've come back, they've made an immediate response. Here we see a better replay. Oh, it's Sterling, he didn't get all of it, did he? He's come off the backside of Militao. So it might have been a little bit of luck, and then Courtois snatches that little bit of luck and hope away. We see Carvajal and co come in to thank their keeper.
Yeah, we'll just break off then to let Max take over till half-time. Toni Kroos gives away a free kick. It is still Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0. With Max Hunt to take us through to the break.
The Blancos versus the Blues. Chelsea 40% of the ball, so they've had probably late coming. They've had a lot more of the ball than you would have expected. As Enzo's been hacked down by Kroos. Toni Kroos, you're kind of thinking if he was wearing the shin pads that you can wear in the shops, he'll be okay, but these shin pads are like the size of your pinky finger, so he sort of feels that on the shin. But it's a good opportunity here for Chelsea to put the ball into the box. It's on the right hand side, but 6 yards in off the touchline. Reece James goes short for Kante. Kante will hesitate and then put the ball in. It's headed up, not away for Fana. Brings it down for Thiago Silva, and then Thiago Silva with an accidental high boot. He's made Toni Kroos put his head where he doesn't need to be. And Kroos, to be fair to him, he's up quickly. They shake hands and they realise these two aging warriors, two gladiators of the game, aren't they? Great respect for each other. They know no harm was meant, and Chelsea's pressure comes to an end as Real Madrid back on the ball over in Milan in the San Siro. It's AC Milan 0, Napoli 0 in that game over there, as Chelsea win the ball up for a high up the field as Sterling tries to link with Enzo Fernandez, unable to do so as Camavinga brings it away and moves it over to the left hand side for Vinicius Junior, who's run it for Fana into the penalty area, goes on to left foot, round for Fana, dinks it to the back post, and it's off the line from, I couldn't see who it was there, but Vinicius Junior with a smile on his face. He was toying with the Chelsea defence, did it all on his own and almost leaped it over all of them in search of Rodrigo. Just waiting for the replay to hear it comes. Vinicius Junior scoops it over. He didn't get all of it, did he? But in fact, not getting all of it's kind of helped him. It's beat Thiago Silva, and so it's Thiago Silva who's got it off the line. And Kepa rather thankfully snaps that up. And that's the danger he can have. We all know what he's got. 6 goals already in this Champions League campaign. And you'd say that Real Madrid and Vinicius Junior and Benzema clicking into form at the right time. They'll be winning this title for the 15th, I'm sure. I'm sure Man City will give them a good run for their money. Beaten Bayern Munich 3-0 last night, of course. And Inter Milan beaten Benfica in Portugal 2-0. So they'll be the favourites in the return leg to the San Siro. As Real Madrid sort of toy with the opposition, knocking the ball around nicely. Modric, Vinicius rarely proves that he is human. He rarely gives the ball away, and there he does there to Enzo Fernandez, who brings it away and a bit hesitant there. Didn't really know what to do, and he's lost out on the ball, and defence turns into attack as Benzema used an offside position and let that go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering what Chelsea need to try and do for the next 5 or 6 minutes. I always feared this would happen. I did say at the start, not me being an expert, you just worried that if they didn't get the goal that they wanted from those little quick fire counters, would Real Madrid punish them, which they have. I think they've responded really well in terms of Sterling nearly scoring. I almost feel they've just got to keep going and just keep doing what they're doing and hope they can start to take one of these chances they're creating. Change anything, big mistake.
Koulibaly rather fortunately gets through, and it's just behind Sterling. He'll have to have a look at it again, see if Alaba got a little bit of a toe on it, but Koulibaly well, he made his own look there, didn't he? Bursting forward, getting involved, the heavy touch. Some would say that heavy touch managed to beat the Real Madrid man, knocking into an empty space, and just there's little cracks there to exploit, isn't there? You were just about to say
what I mean.
I
just think they need to continue doing what they're doing. I think they can get something.
João Felix with a fantastic turn. Chilwell's available on left, ignored. He goes for goal himself, and that's blocked by Carvajal. Mistakes are being made. Carlo Ancelotti won't be extremely happy with what his side have done. You're probably saying they're about a 6 and a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's been a little bit. 10 out of 10, to be fair. 10 out of 10 is very, very high for Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think Real Madrid have shown vulnerability. They have all season. That's why they're second by such a large margin. They're still an unbelievable side. You know, the front three they've got have combined well, but there is gaps here they've exploited with Sterling, but they're neutralising it at the last second. It's the midfield three really that's been penetrated easily. The defence is then holding firm, but Valverde, Modric and Kroos are just not up to it defensively for now. That could, of course, can change. They're three great players.
There's just, as you'd expect with Kroos and Modric, with age, there's just the footballing brain is still there, the passing is still there. You can just be able to quickly go, turn around and defend. The legs will start to go, no doubt, but that's their greatest fear. But we all say that, don't we? And then Modric and Kroos combine and do some wonderful things and get Real Madrid back in the game. Is Rodrigo on the ball, very rarely being brought over to this right hand side. He's brought down by Koulibaly. Referee says play on. Valverde crosses the ball to Camavinga, knocks the ball out in front of him to Benzema, who's way out position of the sort of central 9 challenge. He's in there now as Camavinga puts the ball in. Koulibaly heads it away. Sterling doesn't help his team out too well by heading it back towards the danger area, but Kovacic and Kante able to recover that ball and get it away. But only, well, and then Camavinga gives the ball away. The makeshift left back is Kante is now running, exploiting that space vacated by his younger French colleague. And then N'Golo Kante, World Cup winner, probably a hero of Camavinga, slips on the ball, and the young Frenchman gets the ball back for his side. There's half an hour's played and a diagonal ball played for Benzema. He brings it under his spell beautifully, cuts back onto the left foot. Chilwell just holds him up a little bit inside the penalty area, and for once Vinicius Junior and Karim Benzema on different wavelengths. Junior went wrong one way, the ball went the other. Chelsea hack it clear, but you know what? Real Madrid are coming again. They're crossing that attacking third line with Carvajal, Modric. Camavinga's got space on the left-hand side. It's going to be moved over there. Militao. And they're just toying with them. They're just trying to figure out the way around, aren't they? As Chelsea make it narrow and difficult. They get the foot in. There's a black sock in the way every now and then, but it immediately falls back to the side, and White as Camavinga dinks the ball in, and Kepa's quick off his line to collect that one.
Yeah, it's been a bit passive from Real Madrid. Last few minutes, they've they've dominated possession, but it's not exactly clinical. They're not going for it every time. They just try to maybe work angles and set traps. See what they do. What do Chelsea do if we do this? A bit like what a boxer would do in a ring. They're not going for broke all the time. It's just quite methodical and steady. I think Chelsea will be more than happy that they're not under constant pressure, Max. But you still feel that we're going to get a second goal before half time.
Yeah, the problem is Chelsea surely can't sustain this for another hour. Mentally and physically fatigue, constantly watching the ball, watching your man, who's where. You always need to be communicating with your partner, defenders with the line in front of them, and just one slip, one concentration from one or two players, the whole thing could fall down. And Real Madrid have the players to do that. Here's one of them, Toni Kroos, on the ball. He can thread the ball through an ivor needle when it needs to come. And Carvajal slips it through the legs of Koulibaly, looking for Vinicius Junior. And almost a breakdown in communication there with Thiago Silva and Kepa. Kepa comes sliding out and takes the ball off Silva's toes. Chelsea, they have had 42% of the ball, which is a good going really. Away at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid a heavily possession-based side, and they've had some goes. They've put a few jabs in there. They've certainly bloodied the nose of Real Madrid. Courtois had to make an excellent save, and there was a couple of opportunities in the first 5 minutes where if they went left when they should have gone right, really, shouldn't they? And a couple of counter-attacks could have been so different. João Felix getting through one-on-one with the keeper, and then he stopped, he hesitated, tried to do that Cruyff turn, hook it onto the left leg, put it onto the left boot, and that allowed Militao to come back and make it difficult. As Fofana crosses the halfway line with confidence, still going. He's brought down by Camavinga, not illegally in the eyes of the referee. And now there's a space to exploit here for Real Madrid with Valverde running at Reece James. He's back-heeled it, looking for Vinicius Junior, but that's just a little bit too cocky.
It was the most obvious thing that he was about to do. He had one option, so rather than just run back the other way and just keep it, he decided to go for it, even though Reece James had covered it, and you could clearly tell he was setting himself up for the nutmeg. He'd put his legs close together. That's a pretty tired decision from Valverde, because he'd run a long way to get there.
So Real Madrid on the ball again, as you'd expect. Vinicius Junior and Benzema combining. Just a little bit of gap, thinking he'd slave through Vinicius Junior. It's great football and a good save by Kepa. Gets the long barrier down and keeps it out. At the moment, he just looked like Benzema, the way he just knocked it out in front of him. He's going to line up for a shot from goal, and then within 2 seconds, a shot comes a lot closer.
Yeah, Benzema's not happy. He thinks Vinicius Junior should cut the ball back. I think he's been a bit ambitious. Vinicius Junior would have had to do a lot more work to then hook his leg further around the ball and get across. And in the end, I think he just tried to force a save out of Kepa and hope it fell to the Frenchman. Here's Modric.
Modric, again, just looking at the stats in Napoli, AC Milan. Napoli seem to be the dominant side in that one. Again, of course, you can listen to on this service, but stay here. We've had a goal. They haven't had a goal yet. As Real Madrid look to kick back into action as they move it to Camavinga, who's been moved over to play at left back recently. Nacho Fernandez is on the bench. He seems to be, well, his entire career spent at Real Madrid, as Modric plays it through for Benzema, and Koulibaly just gets himself in the way, makes it difficult. Doesn't do a great job with the clearance. He's going to come immediately back at them on the edge of the box. Move over to Valverde. Camavinga. Vinicius Junior outside the D. Combination with Rodrigo doesn't work. And Chelsea get it away, but it's panicky. It's not wholehearted, isn't it? It's a bit hesitant. It's a bit need to get just flipping and flapping at the ball. No passes with conviction as they look to build and keep possession, as Benzema strikes for goal for distance, but it trickles along the ground into the hands of Kepa.
Yeah, they're working in really tight spaces, Chelsea. A lot of flicks of the right boot to try and retain possession. Nobody able to really put a foot on the ball and dictate a pass. And there were about 3 instances where it was just flick, 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 and they'd have been better off just smashing it downfield and starting again, because giving the ball away on the edge of their own box is really risky for Chelsea in this sort of instance, especially who they're playing against. maybe a couple of tweaks from Lampard. A few things his team were doing were good. I do wonder whether Conte should be the one that's holding, though, rather than Fernandes.
Well, Reece James has found himself up the field. It's very rarely he's been able to stretch his legs. Now he enters the penalty area, gets to the byline, fires the ball into the box, looking for Sterling and Felix. It might have taken a deflection off Camavinga into the hands of Courtois. As Reece James gives a look of thunder to his two strike partners. He probably feels that they should have and could have done more. They were pretty much stood behind stood in a line, nothing difficult as Real Madrid get to the byline, pull it now, pull it back, looking for Benzema. And defence to an attack like that, the Chelsea defenders throw their hands up to say, midfielders, where are you? How is it that easy to get from that end of the field to this one with relative ease? And Rodrigo has been kind of quiet in this game, but a big role in the build-up for that one. Yeah,
it was nice and steady from Real Madrid. They were just working the space, taking advantage of it, pouncing when it was there. The cutback, fair enough, it isn't that accurate, but it's into a good attacking area. And again, they're just knocking on the door whenever they feel like it. Chelsea, I think, would be very happy at 1-0 down at half-time, considering how the game has gone. They'll be frustrated with the missed chances, but considering since then they've not, since Sterling's, they've done nothing. I think 1-0 is a fairly fair score.
Yeah, there was an offside in there somewhere, so it won't be a corner. As Courtois, like I say, he's gone for distance, he's gone to ease the pressure, but just a little bit too far. Goes all the way to Courtois, who's in all red. Real Madrid, as you'd expect, in all white. Chelsea, all blue. And Kepa is in sort of a high-vis green sort of situation. As Carvajal's caught in the corner flag by João Felix. He blindly hacks it clear down the line, and it's picked up by Rodrigo. He himself escorted deep into the own half by Koulibaly. It's gone out for a throw. We're into the 39th minute. Real Madrid in a 1-0 lead, but it's not comfortable. It's a bit edgy. Chelsea not having a lot of the ball as you'd expect, and they're doing a lot of defending work, but they're just showing every now and then that they have some bites about them. Not so much since the early part of the first half, as Real Madrid have another ball into the box cleared, and Enzo Fernandez and N'Golo Kante combine well out of a tight situation, but James gives a bit of a hospital pass to Fofana deep in his own penalty area, and Vinicius Junior does really well to escort and put it behind for a corner, and he's calling for more from the crowd. As we'll go to San Siro, and AC Milan have taken the lead in that one. So you'd say, although AC Milan did beat them Napoli 4-0, is corner's taken quickly, and James gets a foot in there. Difficult one to call, given that Napoli are so far ahead in Serie A, but AC Milan did beat them rather convincingly, extremely recently. As Modric, ball in, flicked on a near post by Militao from Alaba. Benzema lurking in the penalty area, but Kepa aware of it.
Yeah, again, just putting the ball into a percentage area where you think you can get a flick on, so much so there's two flick-ons before it eventually reaches Kepa. Benzema is about to tap it in, and Koulibaly and Co at the back are doing what they can by the skin of their teeth, and Fernandes in that midfield, he's getting closer and closer to the Modric. He's doing well to actually get the ball away from him, but there's just not enough on that second burst. But here's Fofana to try and change that.
Fofana, he's had a couple of carries of the ball deep into the Real Madrid half, and they're kind of happy to let him have it, but he struggles to find a man as all the white shirts cover up the blue ones. But Chelsea's still in possession of the ball, as we've got 5 minutes of normal time remaining until the break. Late to the game, it's Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0. Benzema scoring in the 21st minute, and there hasn't been too many stoppages, mainly for the goal. No injuries, no VAR decisions. As Vinicius Junior strides into the penalty area, and him and Benzema again just not on the same page there again. But Vinicius knows it was his fault and quickly apologises to the veteran Frenchman, and we'll get going again momentarily.
Yeah, see the replay of the goal, and again, just very direct. I mean, it is a surprise to me that you would see a long ball over the top with Fofana, Thiago Silva and Koulibaly in the back three. and Vinicius Junior wins it. But it's such as the spin on that ball from Dani Carvajal. You know, the iconic Champions League stars just spinning at a rate of knots as it reaches its way forward, and then, I mean, nobody would miss from there. Never mind one of the best strikers in the world, i.e., the best striker in the world, according to the Ballon d'Or.
Oh, who would you say is a better number 9?
Oh, you see, I'm in Benzema's camp. He's very good, but
Haaland or Lewandowski?
Obviously Haaland at the minute.
Haaland or Lewandowski. Out the 3 of them, if you had to pick one.
I mean, a man that scored 46 goals or whatever it is, and it's April. He's still, but I still think Benzema's had a very underrated career. I know he's won absolutely tons, but he doesn't get often mentioned in the same breath as Lewandowski, and I think they're absolutely bang on par. If not, the Frenchman's a bit better.
It's the curse of playing in Cristiano Ronaldo's shadow, isn't
yeah,
it? But
sadly.
One good thing, well, not one good thing, but thing of Ronaldo leaving is that we finally get to see Benzema lead the line and take it on himself, and his shoulders are big enough and wide enough to carry the responsibility as he shoves Thiago Silva off the ball illegally, though, in the eyes of the assistant referee on that side. The assistant referee took some time to make that decision. I wonder if our referee made the decision for him. But I just leave it a little bit in there. It's not, I don't think you could.
It's from behind slightly though. Thiago Silva's, it's not shoulder to shoulder, it's in the back. I get why they're frustrated, because he's about to pass it to an empty box and there's a simpler tap in. But Thiago Silva's not shoulder onto him. They're not square.
Yeah, it's a bit. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't you? Wonder if it would have been given if it was in the middle of the park rather than such a dangerous position. But Kepa gets the game undergoing again, just taking his time as you would naturally with half-time approaching. Only 1-0 down at the Bernabeu. I think Frank Lampard would be happy with what his side have done. They haven't been under siege at all. Yes, Real Madrid have had a lot of the ball, but it hasn't been camped outside the penalty area. Chelsea have made it a little bit difficult for themselves, but they've managed to riposte and repel Real Madrid before they've really got to the penalty area. Kepa hasn't been it hasn't been a 10 out of 10 performance from Kepa. He hasn't needed to dig his side out with multiple saves again and again. He's been have to do too much. As Fofana's been caught on the ball by Valverde. He goes for goal and he drives it hard straight at Kepa. Again, fully behind it, scoops it up into the breadbasket, and no doubt he'll take his time.
Yeah, they need to take their time, just get to half time for Chelsea. You know, maybe a couple of tweaks here and there just to try and see this game out. I think you mentioned it about second half, getting out to Stamford Bridge. You know, if it is 1-0, I mean, that's a superb result overall across the two ties. But I still think Chelsea, if they can get Lampard, can get something into them and the rest of the coaching staff, they can score. It's about how many they can keep out at the other end.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it's 1-0 in the 75, 80th minute, will he stick or twist? Will he? I think he'll stick, won't he? He'll just say, yeah, we'll take 1-0 back, to try to keep 1-0, take it to Stamford Bridge. The away goal doesn't count. Well, it doesn't exist anymore, so you don't really need to go hunting for it. As we're into the final 25 seconds of normal time, it's Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0 on this live independent off-tube studio-based commentary with Max Hunter and Tom Hill as James plays it back for Velix. Can he dink the ball in? Is there a one opportunity there for Chelsea? Kante, Enzo Fernandez and Sterling in the box. They're not delivering it there. They're trying to work a good opportunity. They've gone from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, and that's it gone. And we're not going to have any time whatsoever as our referee blows for half-time at the break. It's Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0.
Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Jr. tipped away by Kepa straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay on the counter. They've got to control the midfield battle more. We may see changes at the break. It's 1-0. Real Madrid lead by a goal to nil at Santiago Bernabeu. 22nd minute when Karim Benzema struck. Crystal clear opportunity for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. A shot from Vinicius Junior, tipped away by Kepa, straight to the striker who tapped in. Before that, Chelsea had chances. João Felix denied. Raheem Sterling had a great effort straight after the Benzema goal with a huge save from Thibaut Courtois. Chelsea have done okay. Welcome back to our coverage. It is Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0 as you rejoin us for the start of the second half. Real Madrid have a 1-0 lead thanks to Karim Benzema's left boot from point-blank range. Real Madrid go with Courtois, Camavinga, Alaba and Militao. It's then Carvajal, Modric, Kroos and Valverde. Vinicius Junior, Benzema and Rodrigo complete the lineup for Madrid. As for Chelsea, it's Kepa, Koulibaly, Silva and Fofana. James, Conte, Fernandes, Kovacic and Chilwell, Sterling and João Felix. Real Madrid straight away on the attack, looking out wide to Rodrigo. He hooks it into the area, but the ball has gone out of play for a throw. Myself, Tom Hill and Max Hunter bringing you all the action tonight. And it was a lively start where we thought we might get a real cracker of a game. Petered out a little bit and we expected a Chelsea on the back foot performance trying to counter. Arguably could have scored 2 goals. Real Madrid punished them when they had the main opportunity, and Chelsea Max had to do a lot more, especially with passes like that from Fernandes across the box. He was looking for Fofana to play it out from the back. He's then given it to Vinicius Junior, and it's really clumsy that from the midfielder. I mentioned to you as we walked away from the studio at half-time, surely Conte should be in the middle trying to dictate play rather than Fernandes, but here he's Sterling from a Conte deflected pass. Sterling running forward. He's got 3 Real Madrid players running back with him. They're really outnumbered as Fernandes rolls it to left for Kovacic. Wide is Chilwell. 2 in the box is João Felix and Sterling, but neither of them offer an aerial route, so they've decided to go back to Kovacic, and it's now slowing down. And here is the ball out on the left-hand side to Koulibaly, Max, and everything has petered out well and truly. Yeah,
they're just a bit scared, aren't they? They're hesitant. They don't want to cross the ball in from the wings. They want to play through the middle, and Real Madrid are making that extremely difficult, very narrow. And Chelsea just doesn't seem to have their man on the pitch to break it down. Enzo Fernandez, João Felix made a great run but didn't receive the ball. And Kovacic, who's overhit that, Chilwell will do really well to keep it, and he does. But in doing so, he's giving the ball away back to Real Madrid. But Chelsea again making it difficult.
Yeah, here is Felix, Conte to Fernandes. Fernandes knocks it back towards Conte, who goes towards Felix, who goes for goal, stings the palms of Courtois. Not too troubling, though, for a man of his towering frame. But it's an effort on goal all the same, Max.
It's an effort on goal, and I'm sure he wants to impress, given he is still technically an Atletico Madrid player at the Bernabeu. I'm sure he's had some words in his ear from members of the crowd and that have been around. I wonder if any of the players as well have said a few things to him as well. The young Portuguese man, he's yet to kick on, isn't he? But I like to see him taking the responsibility, having a few more goes from goal. Doesn't matter if it's from distance. You've got to test Courtois. The classic, you're never going to win the raffle if you don't buy the ticket situation. But Kante put some good pressure on Courtois, just about getting the ball away.
Oh, he gets it away well, all the way out towards Rodrigo. Has got in behind, he's got the better of Koulibaly first time harassed. But what top defending that is. Koulibaly just gets across shoulder to shoulder, gets alongside and brushes him to the floor. And they're going to look at it, I'm sure, for a VAR appeal. But I think he was just far too strong.
No, I was just worried about him. He was just going away holding the back of his right leg. I'm thinking, oh no, he hasn't pulled a hamstring, has he? But he seems to be all okay now. There's absolutely nothing wrong with his positioning's a little bit wrong. Caught a little bit high at the field, but recovers. Rodrigo waiting for the ball to bounce and fall from his favour, allows Koulibaly to come back, and then he just uses his man mountain presence to just get in the way. Rodrigo can't get around him. It's a good start from Chelsea as Fernandes goes for goal, but that's high and wide. And well, they had a bright start to the first half, had a bright start to the second half, and they're just making them they're just being annoying. They were just they're just frustrating Real Madrid. Real Madrid got on top of the game when Chelsea decided, you know what, we're just going to sit back for a bit and let you have the game. But they took it to them in the first 10 minutes of the first half, and they're taking it to them for the first 5 minutes in the second half. And it's disjointed. That's what Chelsea need. They can't let Real Madrid have it all their own way.
No, they can't. As Vinicius Junior burst down the left-hand side. Lampard thought that ball had gone. He's going towards the byline. Vinicius Junior, can he cut it back into the penalty area? Cuts it back now towards Benzema. He can't shoot. First time of asking. Lays it out to Modric. Modric will shoot. Right-footed. Oh, just over. A whisker over the crossbar. Goal at his mercy. Top corner. It was going to be right in the frame of the goal. He's just put too much on it.
You could see it. You could see it all just fall into play when it came back to Benzema. You think he just teared up to the left and give the Croatian, let him use that beautiful right leg of his, and it almost paid off for him. He's got so much space, and you think there's plenty of players on this football pitch who can do that, but you're thinking Modric, you'd love to see it come off him, but it's just inches over the bar. Not even an inch, just it's in centimetres, millimetres away. And that second goal would have really knocked the stuffing out of Chelsea, because they made a good start to this second half, and that'll be the ultimate kind of Real Madrid just toiling. Yeah, you can have it, but can you do that? No.
It's a big moment really for Chelsea. That Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0. You do wonder if that goes in. Is that it for the tie? Because it's so early on in this game. Would Chelsea's hedge drop? It's given them a lifeline as Vinicius Junior again sets off on his left-hand side towards Fofana's touchline. He's cutting on into his right foot now, brushes Fofana away, who can't make a challenge on a card. Modric, Benzema, he tried to play a quick one too, and Chelsea pounce. Here's João Felix. That's an awful ball as Kante gives away a free kick, but João Felix has got to do better, Max.
Yeah, João Felix, he's playing on a counter-attack. He's got to hold the ball up and look after it, bring in other players. You can't be doing that. Equally, Kante, you can't just grab the hip of Modric. You're not doing a tango on the dance floor. You can't just throw him around like that. But Real Madrid almost gets something from it, but Kepa gets the ball there after ricochet falls in favour of Chelsea. But Chelsea, they just need to pick it up again. Get the ball up the field, make it difficult for Real Madrid to play out the game. Because again, like in the first half, maybe just taking the foot off the pedal a little bit, and Real Madrid are getting into the game again.
Yeah, headed away from Alaba from a Kepa goal kick. It's still 1-0 to Real Madrid as Koulibaly really should be taking control of that. Thiago Silva, him and Koulibaly went for the same ball. Eventually they give the ball away to Cruz in midfield. Chelsea just lacking that leadership and control, and I mean really Koulibaly could have headed that backwards to Kepa and restarted.
Yeah, I was thinking that, just not it backwards, but he's just nodded it into an aimless space. Unfortunately for Chelsea, it's worked out for them, but it can't be giving the ball away easily like that. I wonder if Frank Lampard, just 7.5 minutes to go into the hour mark, just start to go look to his bench. Well, Koulibaly has gone down here, and referee's calling the physios on now. When he beat Rodrigo, he did sort of come back and have a little feel on the right of the hamstring, and I think he's just gestured to that as well. And if that's it, do they take a chance on him? If it's 50-50, I think you've got to take him off, surely.
Yeah, it's a good spot that, Max. I mean, he got across, he managed to win it. I thought he might have just been kneed in the back of the thigh, but the way that obviously the fact he's gone down again suggests, yeah, maybe he has pulled it. It's a really, really bursting run back. He had to do something to stop them scoring a second. And at the end of the day, if he's not feeling it and he's not 100%, you can't chase down Rodrigo.
No, and you're probably looking at the bench, you got Chalobah there, who probably is the like-for-like replacement. Although he's got was Cucurella is stripped and ready to come on. Now, James did play one of the three a few weeks ago with Ruben Loftus-Cheek on that right wing back, so I don't know if they're gonna ask James to go and be one of the central three again. Probably. Well, we'll see in just a second. Cucurella very much predominantly a wing back, a full back.
Yeah, but he's played centre back quite a few times, hasn't he? I just think they switch over. I think
straight line for line.
I just think he just takes his spot, yeah, and they move on with that. And they've got a bit extra pace. Yes, they've got a lack of power now, but it's a different approach. They might need this approach to get a bit more involved. You know, if Cucurella gets it, can he charge out from the back and Chilwell can drop in to cover? It's a worry for Lampard now for the rest of the season. Of course, he's in interim charge, and not having Koulibaly for a couple of weeks could be a big blow. He's a player that, you know, needs to run in the team, a lot of concerned teammates, and yeah, he just feels the back of the hamstring and suggests, as you say, Max, that is something that he can't continue with.
Cucurella's gone in for a straight light for light. Admittedly, I've never seen a full game of him there, but first test, and he's passed it, headed the ball away from the path of Benzema.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not
he's
sure.
quick.
For me, I'd rather have James there.
Yeah, I mean, James, the thing is with, you speak to quite a lot of Chelsea fans, you take James out of right wing back and you've lost his ability, really. He's got to get forward and help out. I know he's a lot more stronger, but
he's more physical, isn't he?
Yeah, it's one of those things where maybe Cucurella in these situations getting the ball, dictating play a bit, it might be what Chelsea need this, because someone from deep's got to get hold of the ball and try and play a few passes. Fernandes to João Felix, he tried to work a 1-2 with Kovacic. It was the Croatian that misplaced the pass, and now he flies in. It's a good challenge though, him and Conte together. Modric dispossessed, there's no appeal from Modric, as now João Felix picks it up, tries to go past Alaba. That's top defending. João Felix tries to lure him in and then take the ball and go away with it, and he runs straight into traffic, as now Camavinga's bursting forward. Wesley Fofana though shows a turn of speed and then wins a throw. And that's some good play all around from some of the best youngsters on the pitch. 56 gone, it is 1-0 to Real Madrid.
Yeah, with that change of Koulibaly going off, it kind of looks like Fofana's going to have to be on his best behaviour for the full 90. Already picked up an early yellow card against Vinicius Junior inside 10 minutes. And to be fair to Fofana, he's not been put under a lot of pressure, has he? Vinicius Junior hasn't been able to get a solid run at him again to say to him, look, see if are you going to put a challenge on him? Yeah, you're going to risk getting a second yellow. He's marshalled the game, marshalled his position really well. And here's Raheem Sterling breaking into the final third. And again, Chelsea they put the foot on the ball, don't they? They're just, I suppose they'll want to keep control of the football, but they're not looking to play with that little bit of risk where they just keep on going. They get to that final third. You know what? Foot on the ball. Right? Where's the right pass?
Yeah, it's hopefully a big 10 minutes for Chelsea. This is Fernandes gives away a free kick. Still Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0. That free kick's just inside the Real Madrid half. Fernandes just a little too hot in the challenge, brought down Valverde. And here is Toni Kroos in midfield, who's playing a pass forward. It's into Modric, who will turn forward and go towards Vinicius Junior, who drops the shoulder. That decision to not play the pass helped out Reece James. Chelsea have got it now. James collects. There's a lack of desire though from Chelsea to get it forward. They want to be methodical with it and build. There is no urgency to try and spring the traps. I think they're so wary of giving the ball away, such as the way that Real Madrid are set up, that this just taking some sting out of Real Madrid's legs is perhaps a good idea as well. As Fofana now has it out towards Conte on the right of midfield to James. A risky pass that from Reece James, and it's a really bad idea. He gave the ball to Conte, who was marked, and it's now played back inside towards Rodrigo. He tries to flick it forward. Fofana comes across, and I think Wesley Fofana's had an absolute cracking game to say he was carded inside the first half. Long ball forward to João Felix, who's got away. He goes wide to Sterling. It's a 2-on-2 if Chelsea are quick enough. Sterling is racing forward, goes past his marker Militao, but doesn't go back with the ball. Militao covers him all the time, and some incredible reactions from Militao. A couple of somersaults. You'd see it at the Olympics, but that is the difference between, it's more, there is no conviction in the front two of Chelsea.
Yeah, it's like that's the first time Militao and Alaba have been worried seriously worried where they're going, oh, it's 2-on-2, we could be caught here, and they've managed to, you say that's normally in favour of the attackers, but they've managed to wrestle. It's Rodrigo's been pulled back from Chilwell, and the referee is saying it's on the edge of the box here, but it could be a red card, and
wow.
it is, I think, just getting round to it, saying it is a good goal-scoring opportunity. VAR will obviously check it. Chilwell, he's already behind the goal, he's walking off, he doesn't see too much point in complaining. He knew, he's kind of that attitude of just going straight off. He suggested, look, took one for the team there, boys, sorry, but I have to go. Lovely ball over the top, and it's a goal scoring opportunity. Just pulls the right arm of Rodrigo. It is outside the box. The referee's made the right decision with that, and he can really have no complaints.
No, it's just a game. It's a set of matches, isn't it? Red card is going to kill the tie. I'm not having any, I'm not saying it's a massive complaint. Edge of the area is about to shoot, hour mark up, and yeah, Chilwell sent off, and the fact he's not really complaining at all. I just look at this tie now and think, well, you're down to 10. They could now go and score 2 or 3 goals. You're suspended for the next leg anyway.
Yep.
Do you put your faith in your keeper to make a save? It wasn't a simple tap-in. It's not a one-on-one. He's still got work to do.
Yeah, it's 2-0 better than 10 men.
Well, we will soon find out. Ben Chilwell's made his decision. That is the problem with football. We get hindsight. We get a chance to review it. He doesn't. He's got a split decision to make. Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 0. Benzema looks up over the ball and prepares to swing a shot towards goal. Cucurella's laid down in the floor. We have James, Thiago Silva, Fofana and João Felix in the wall. Benzema's back there. So, though, is Alaba. He's perhaps a better option with the left boot to curl it. Kepa's very far over towards his right-hand side of his goal. Alaba does go swinging towards it. Benzema moved out of the way to the middle. Alaba tried to force a save out of Kepa, which he did. No spill, and it is still 1-0.
Yeah, just Carvajal was sort of hanging outside there to try and get himself in the direct line of sight and block the view of Kepa, and Alaba playing on the fact of so often you see keepers sort of move the other way a little bit too soon, but Kepa not doing so today, so it's still 1-0. Teams just seem they've both had about the same amount of possession, 52-48. Sort of ran the same distance, around about 70 km. Fireworks and take it away from the side from London as Kante brings down Toni Kroos.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of tackle that you're more than happy to see, aren't you? He's on his way forward. He's not well away. You don't have to think, right, if I make this challenge, am I sent off? Ben Chilwell didn't have that thought. Of course, the formation's now messed up for Chelsea because he was the wing back. It now means Sterling's playing wing back and João Felix is the only player up front. Chelsea's lack of an out-and-out striker is now bared really right in front of us because they've got no